A cold breeze brushed across the small town of Stonehill every morning, rolling softly over its quiet streets like a gentle whisper. The sun always rose slow here, painting the sky in pale gold and soft peach. At the corner of Main Street sat Marlowe's Diner, a humble place where the scent of fresh coffee and homemade bread was enough to make anyone feel welcome. It was here, among old wooden tables and the clinking of simple porcelain cups, that the story began. A story that would start with kindness, grow with patience, and later reveal a truth no one ever expected. And it began with a waitress named Rowan. Rowan Hayes was only 27, but life had already carved deep lessons into her spirit. She had dreams once, grand, wild dreams of seeing the world and painting cities in her imagination. But life doesn't always move with our plans. Her father passed unexpectedly when she was 19, and responsibilities settled onto her shoulders like heavy winter snow. She worked to help her mother and younger siblings, taking jobs wherever she could. This diner job was stable, dependable, and it paid enough to keep the lights on. Rowan didn't complain. She was gentle, quiet, and she found peace in simple conversations with strangers who came and went. Every morning, just a few minutes after 7, an elderly woman entered the diner. Her steps were slow, steady, and careful. Her silver hair was always braided neatly. She wore a soft cardigan that seemed hand-knitted and carried a small purse that looked older than Rowan. Her name was Anais. Anais never ordered much, just a cup of warm water with a slice of lemon and a single piece of toast. But she always tried to pay with a trembling hand, using a handful of coins wrapped in tissue, coins that barely covered half the cost. And every morning Rowan quietly slipped the missing amount into the cash register herself. No one asked her to, no one even noticed. But Rowan felt that some people didn't need to ask for help. Some souls simply carried stories heavy enough that kindness should meet them without invitation. The lawyer spoke softly, as though handling something fragile. Miss Laurent is not who you think she is. She is the widow of Alistair Laurent, the founder of Laurent Hale Global Holdings. Rowan blinked. Her mind couldn't process the words. The Laurents were one of the wealthiest families in the state. Their logo appeared on skyscrapers, financial news channels, and major foundations. Anais had been sitting at her diner table every morning with a single slice of toast. Rowan's voice trembled. But she lives alone. She walks here. She left her estate months ago, the lawyer explained, voice lowering. After her husband passed, the world around her became overwhelming. Her daughter, unfortunately, sought to place her into private care facilities. Miss Laurent didn't wish for that. She simply wanted to live quietly, independently, to be treated like a person, not a fortune. Rowan felt something ache deep in her chest. And you, the lawyer added softly, treated her exactly that way. Rowan's eyes stung. She's spoken about you daily, the lawyer continued. Your kindness, your gentleness, the way you never made her feel like a burden. Then her tone grew more formal. She has asked to see you before we take her home. Rowan nodded and followed her back inside. Anais was standing now, holding her purse carefully with both hands. Rowan approached slowly. Their eyes met. I didn't know, Rowan whispered. I know, Anais replied. That is why your kindness was real. Tears welled in Rowan's eyes. Anais reached into her purse and pulled out a small folded piece of paper. For you, she said. Rowan took it, hands trembling. The lawyer nodded to the guards. They surrounded Anais with gentle protection and led her to the car. Before stepping in, Anais turned one last time. Her eyes held gratitude deeper than words. Then she was gone. Silence fell over Rowan's heart like snow. She unfolded the paper. Inside was a handwritten note. When the world was loud, you gave me quiet. When I was invisible, you saw me. Thank you. And nice and tucked inside was a deed to Marlowe's Diner. Rowan fell to her knees on the sunlit street. She didn't cry loudly. Tears simply fell, warm and soft, for every moment she had doubted herself, every night she had wondered whether kindness mattered, every time she had given to the world without knowing if it would ever give back. And on that quiet morning, kindness returned home. Weeks later, the diner transformed. Not into something fancy, not into something luxurious, but into something full of warmth. Rowan expanded the menu to include free breakfast for seniors once a week, a small reading corner, and a community fund jar. Pictures of customers decorated the walls. Laughter returned, music played softly. It became more than a diner. It became a sanctuary. And sometimes, when the morning sun touched the window just right, Rowan swore she could still see Anais sitting in her favorite seat, smiling. One call to action near end. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps these stories reach more souls who need a reminder that compassion still matters. When there's special request to comment before ending, comment below. Kindness never leaves. And let this story be a reminder. Even when unseen, unnoticed, or unthanked, every good deed plants a seed. And one day, unexpectedly, beautifully, those seeds bloom.